Okay, what if I told you that changing your mindset, just your thinking, could literally transform your bank account?
Mm-hmm.
And not just, a little bit, but a really radical shift. Like going from struggling to, well, genuine financial abundance.
Sounds pretty out there, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. Maybe a bit like wishful thinking.
Yeah.
But stick with us because today we're diving into this really fascinating concept,
Yeah.
the money frequency.
Right.
It's basically this idea that understanding and consciously using a specific vibrational frequency, yes, seriously, can profoundly alter your financial reality and, by extension, your whole lifestyle.
Interesting.
We've actually got some compelling bits here from a piece that outlines this whole transformative idea. It draws on some powerful personal experiences, apparently,
Yeah.
and proposes a kind of framework for making it happen.
Okay.
So our mission today is really to unpack these ideas, try to figure out how they supposedly work, and see what nuggets of wisdom we can maybe pull out for you.
Yeah, and what's really striking, I think, right from the start, is the claim itself. It's pretty bold.
It is, isn't it?
The source material says one individual had this, well, astonishing financial turnaround, moving from what they call a consistently low income to becoming a billionaire.
Wow.
And importantly, not through the usual ways like, winning the lottery or inheriting a fortune.
Right. No external windfall.
Exactly. It was supposedly by consciously shifting their internal approach to money. So it's not just about, say, better budgeting or getting a raise. It's framed as a fundamental internal realignment.
Okay.
So yeah, we'll be exploring how this dramatic transformation is said to have happened and what practical steps are actually suggested, to help you align with this so-called money frequency and maybe achieve similar success. It really does promise a radical rethink of how we look at wealth.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that personal journey then, because that seems core to this. The source details this person's path.
All right.
Starting from, they explicitly say low income. Grappling with financial limits to eventually reaching millionaire status. And like you said, the claim isn't that this was just, dumb luck or a happy accident.
No, quite the opposite.
It's explicitly put down to a deliberate, intentional change in their mindset and, crucially, their daily habits.
Daily habits.
Can you imagine the kind of, profound internal shift that requires in your daily thinking, your emotional reactions around money, your actual actions?
It suggests a very active process.
Yeah, active, conscious, and sustained. Not just hoping things get better. The source really hammers home that this person didn't just want more money. They fundamentally changed their relationship with it.
Precisely. And this perspective, it asserts that every single one of us has this inherent, though maybe often untapped, ability to connect with what the source calls a money frequency.
Okay, money frequency still sounds a bit abstract.
Well, yeah, it's not described like a literal radio wave, that you tune into. It's more like an energetic signature, a vibrational state that aligns with financial abundance. And the connection, it supposedly happens through specific internal and external adjustments. Things you do and think that bring your personal frequency into resonance with this money frequency.
So it's an active process, you're saying?
Alignment.
Yes, exactly. An active, ongoing process of alignment. And if you connect this to sort of the bigger picture, it really challenges that conventional idea that financial success is mostly about external stuff.
Like the economy or your job.
The job market, who, inherited advantages, all that. Instead, this view posits that success is deeply intertwined with your internal state, your beliefs, your emotions, your vibration.
Their internal vibration.
It implies that what you're unconsciously sort of broadcasting, your energetic output, is just as crucial, maybe more crucial than what you're consciously trying to get or manifest financially.
Huh. Like your internal world is a kind of magnet.
That's a good way to put it, yeah. Attracting corresponding external realities. Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting for me. Because the source doesn't just leave it at, vague internal states. It tries to explain the mechanism.
Right, the how.
Yeah, the how. And it's explained through this concept of subconscious paradigms.
Paradigms, okay.
And these aren't just fleeting thoughts about money. They're described as these profoundly ingrained, deeply held programs, belief systems.
Yeah.
Operating mostly below our conscious radar.
Huh.
Think of it like the basic operating system running in the background of your financial life.
Okay, that's a helpful analogy.
Right. And this OS, it controls your habitual behaviors, how you see opportunities or maybe don't see them, how you react to setbacks financially. And ultimately, your belief about your ability to earn, keep, and grow money.
So if your operating system is old or, buggy.
Exactly. Or programmed with limiting beliefs from way back when, it's going to struggle to run these new, powerful, wealth-generating apps, so to speak.
Which immediately brings up a critical question for most people, I think.
Which is,
If these paradigms are largely subconscious, running in the background, how on earth do we even start to spot them, let alone consciously change them?
good question. Yeah.
And the source makes a really compelling point here. It says, these deep programs dictate not just what we do with money, but maybe even more powerfully, what we believe is actually possible for us financially.
Ah, what we believe is possible.
Yeah. And that directly impacts our earning potential, right? Our willingness to take calculated risks, our ability to even recognize an opportunity when it's staring us in the face.
Okay, I see.
So connecting it back, it means our default settings, the beliefs about money, wealth, self-worth we've picked up from family, culture, past experiences. These might be holding us back without us having a clue.
Like invisible barriers.
Exactly. Silent gatekeepers to the very financial success we might consciously be striving for. For instance, you might have a subconscious paradigm whispering, money is hard to come by, or rich people are greedy, or I'll never be truly wealthy.
Even if consciously you're trying really hard to think positively.
Precisely. The author of the source material talks explicitly about having to, meticulously dig up and confront their own limiting paradigms. Often things like deep-seated fears about success or feelings of unworthiness.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a powerful thought. And maybe a bit unsettling, too, that these invisible programs could be running so much of the show financially.
It is.
So, okay, what does this actually mean for someone listening right now who wants to make that kind of shift? Does the source just leave us with the theory?
No, thankfully not. It offers specific, actionable steps, things you can apparently do to start altering those subconscious paradigms and begin aligning with this money frequency.
Okay, good. What are they? Well, the first key step detailed is setting really clear, precise goals for your financial aspirations.
Right. Goals, not just vague wishes.
Exactly. The emphasis isn't just on writing down, I want to be rich. The source insists on defining tangible, measurable objectives, things you can really visualize and, importantly, emotionally connect with.
Specificity.
Specificity, yeah. How much, by when, maybe even why. Making that desired future feel almost real, almost present.
Okay, step 1. Clear, visualized goals.
Step 2 is the consistent repetition of positive affirmations.
Affirmations. Some people are skeptical about those.
Sure, and the source addresses that. It explains they aren't meant as just, feel-good phrases or wishful thinking. They're presented as tools, powerful tools designed to systematically reprogram your internal dialogue.
Okay. How?
It's about consciously overriding those old, limiting subconscious paradigms with new, empowering beliefs. You're essentially like flooding your mental operating system with new beneficial code day after day.
Replacing the old programming.
That's the idea. And it doesn't stop there. There's a third crucial action emphasized.
Which is?
The importance of what the source calls studying relevant materials.
Learning.
Yes. Constantly feeding your mind with information, knowledge, perspectives that align with your financial goals and the new paradigms you're trying to build. Continuous learning, surrounding yourself with ideas that reinforce your desired reality, actively seeking wisdom from those who've achieved what you aspire to.
Okay, so these 3 things, then clear goals, consistent affirmations, and continuous study, they're presented as a kind of deliberate, systematic method.
That's right.
A way to consciously alter those subconscious paradigms through focused thought and action. And the ultimate aim, going back to the core concept, is to intentionally align your internal frequency.
To the money frequency.
Exactly, to achieve that desired financial success. The author apparently describes dedicating specific, structured time each day to these practices, treating them really seriously like, the discipline you'd bring to intense physical training.
Right, not just a casual thing.
No. And what's particularly fascinating here, and maybe where it gets a bit deeper, is the further suggestion that this transformation isn't just psychological. It's not just mind over matter in the conventional sense.
Okay.
The piece claims that it's a combination of your conscious intellect, the analytical, planning, intentional part of your mind,
Right.
and a connection to what it calls a spiritual self. That this combination allows individuals to tap into something called universal laws of vibration.
Okay. Spiritual self. Universal laws of vibration. That sounds potentially complex.
It does, and let's try to clarify what the source seems to mean there. The spiritual self isn't necessarily tied to a specific religion. It's described more like an inner knowing, an intuitive part of us that can sense alignment, possibility, maybe purpose, beyond just pure logic.
Okay, intuition, inner knowing.
Yeah. And these universal laws of vibration, they're described as inherent principles of the universe. The idea being that everything, including our thoughts and emotions, has an energetic frequency. And the core principle is like attracts like. So, according to the source, by intentionally raising your internal vibrational frequency through those goals, affirmations, study, and connecting with that spiritual self to match the frequency of abundance and wealth.
You activate these laws.
That's the claim. You activate these universal laws.
Mm.
And this tapping into universal laws is supposedly what transforms the abstract ideas, desires, intentions into tangible physical reality.
So actual money in the bank, a different lifestyle.
Exactly. It's presented as the bridge between the abstract world of thought and energy and the concrete financial results you see externally. It's about bringing internal alignment into, well, harmonious manifestation of external change. It's definitely a holistic approach. Mind, spirit, action, all working together.
Wow, okay. That's quite a framework. It really covers a lot of ground, doesn't it, from a personal story
Mm-hmm.
through deep psychological concepts like paradigms, and then into these, well, spiritual or universal laws, but always linked back to very practical steps. So just to recap, we've journeyed from this intriguing, maybe slightly strange idea of a money frequency. We explored that powerful transformation story, low income to millionaires. We understood the hidden power of subconscious paradigms.
Those operating systems.
Right, those hidden operating systems. And then we looked at the specific steps involved. Super clear goals, consistent positive affirmations, and that commitment to continuous focused study.
Yep, that sums it up.
And at its core, it seems the message is all about consciously altering those hidden programs to hopefully unlock entirely new financial possibilities. It really feels like a call to move beyond just passive wishing
Definitely.
and towards a very proactive, very intentional approach to creating wealth, all rooted in this idea of internal energetic alignment.
Yeah, I think that captures it. This deep dive into the money frequency and, all the principles tied to it, it really suggests that our internal landscape, our beliefs, our emotions, our, let's call it energetic vibration, might be way more influential on our external financial world than we typically admit, or perhaps than we're taught.
Mm-hmm. Much more than we think.
It definitely challenges us to look inward, doesn't it? For the root causes and maybe the solutions to our financial situations, instead of just focusing on all the external factors. It posits that real, lasting financial change starts inside.
Starts within.
Exactly.
Right.
So maybe here's a final thought for you, the listener, to sort of ponder after this deep dive is over.
Okay.
What deeply held belief, what subconscious paradigm might you be holding on to right now? Something you might not even realize has such a profound influence. But that could be subtly, or maybe not so subtly, shaping your current financial reality, shaping your perceived ability to earn, to attract, to hold on to money. It's really worth considering, what invisible operating systems might be running in the background of your own financial life and what impact they might be having on your journey towards the abundance you desire.